Developed country.
A developed country, industrialized country, or more economically developed country, is a sovereign state that has a highly developed economy and advanced technological infrastructure relative to other less industrialized nations. Most commonly, the criteria for evaluating the degree of economic development are gross domestic product, the per capita income, level of industrialization, amount of widespread infrastructure and general standard of living. Which criteria are to be used and which countries can be classified as being developed are subjects of debate. Developed countries have post-industrial economies, meaning the service sector provides more wealth than the industrial sector. They are contrasted with developing countries, which are in the process of industrialization, or undeveloped countries, which are pre-industrial and almost entirely agrarian. According to the International Monetary Fund, advanced economies comprise 65.8% of global nominal GDP and 52.1% of global GDP, PPP, in 2010. In 2013, the 10 largest advanced economies by nominal GDP were the United States, Japan, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Canada, Australia, Spain and South Korea. By PPP GDP, they were the United States, Japan, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, South Korea, Canada, Spain and Australia.
Similar terms.
Terms similar to developed country include advanced country, industrialized country, more developed country, MDC, more economically developed country, MEDC, global north country, first world country, and post-industrial country. The term industrialized country may be somewhat ambiguous, as industrialization is an ongoing process that is hard to define. The term MEDC is one used by modern geographers to specifically describe the status of the countries referred to, more economically developed. The first industrialized country was the United Kingdom, followed by Belgium. Later it spread further to Germany, United States, France and other Western European countries. According to some economists such as Jeffrey Sachs, however, the current divide between the developed and developing world is largely a phenomenon of the 20th century.
Definition and criteria.
Economic criteria have tended to dominate discussions. One such criterion is income per capita. Countries with high gross domestic product, GDP, per capita would thus be described as developed countries. Another economic criterion is industrialization. Countries in which the tertiary and quaternary sectors of industry dominate would thus be described as developed. More recently another measure, the Human Development Index, HDI, which combines an economic measure, national income, with other measures, indices for life expectancy and education has become prominent. This criterion would define developed countries as those with a very high, HDI, rating. However, many anomalies exist when determining developed status by whichever measure is used. Kofi Annan, former Secretary-General of the United Nations, defined a developed country as follows: a developed country is one that allows all its citizens to enjoy a free and healthy life in a safe environment. But according to the United Nations Statistics Division. And it notes that. The Union also notes.
Human Development Index HDI.
The Union HDI is a statistical measure that gauges a country's level of human development. While there is a strong correlation between having a high HDI score and a prosperous economy, the UN points out that the HDI accounts for more than income or productivity. Unlike GDP per capita or per capita income, the HDI takes into account how income is turned into education and health opportunities and therefore into higher levels of human development. Since 1990, Norway, 2001 to 2006, 2009 to 2013, Japan, 1990-91 and 1993, Canada, 1992 and 1994 to 2000, and Iceland, 2007-08, have had the highest HDI score. The top 47 countries have scores ranging from 0.793 in Barbados to 0.955 in Norway. Many countries listed by IMF or CIA as advanced, as of 2009, possess an HDI over 0.788, as of 2010. Many countries possessing an HDI of 0.788 and over, as of 2010, are also listed by IMF or CIA as advanced, as of 2009. Thus, many advanced economies, as of 2009, are characterized by an HDI score of 0.9 or higher, as of 2007. The latest index was released on March 14, 2013 and covers the period up to 2012. The following are the 47 countries in the top quartile, having an HDI above 0.8, and classified as possessing a very high human development. Note: the green arrows, red arrows, and blue dashes represent changes in rank when compared to the 2011 data, published in the 2011 report. Norway 00955, Australia 0.938, United States 0.937, 1, Netherlands 0.921, 1, Germany 0.920, 4, New Zealand 0.919, 1, Ireland 00916, Sweden 0.916, 3, Switzerland 0.913, 2, Japan 0.912, 2, Canada 0.911, 5, South Korea 0.909, 3, Hong Kong 0.906, Iceland 0.906, Denmark 00901, 1, Israel 0.900, 1, Belgium 00897, 1, Austria 0.895, 1, Singapore 0.895, 7, France 0.893, Finland 00892, 1, Slovenia 0.892, Spain 0.885, Liechtenstein 0.883, 16, Italy 00881, 1, Luxembourg 0.875, 1, United Kingdom 0.875, 1, Czech Republic 00873, 1, Greece 00860, Brunei 0.855, 1, Cyprus 0.848, 1, Malta 00847, 4, Andorra 0.846, 1, Estonia 0.846, Slovakia 0.840, Qatar 0.834, 1, Hungary 0.831, 1, Barbados 0.825, 9, Poland 00821, Chile 0.819, 4, Lithuania 0.818, 1, United Arab Emirates 0.818, 12, Portugal 0.816, 2, Latvia 0.814, 1, Argentina 0.811, Seychelles 0.806, 6, Croatia 0.805, 1. As a non-UN member, the government of Taiwan calculates its own HDI, which had a value of 0.882 in 2011. Additionally, while the HDI for the Chinese Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong is calculated by the UN, it is not for Macau. The Macanese government calculated the territory's HDI to be 0.868 in 2011. These values place both Taiwan and Macau well within the list of countries with very high human development. Furthermore, in 2009 a United Nations project calculated the HDI for all of its members, as well as Taiwan, Macau, and many dependent territories. The HDI values for the countries of San Marino and Monaco, which have not been included in official annual HDI reports, were found to be at 0.961 and 0.956 respectively. This places both countries firmly within the category of countries with very high human development as well. The dependent territories with HDI values equivalent to very high human development were, Jersey, Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Guernsey, Gibraltar, Norfolk Island, Faroe Islands, Isle of Man, British Virgin Islands, Falkland Islands, Aruba, Puerto Rico, Martinique, and Guam. Of note, the HDI values in the 2009 report were calculated using the old HDI formula, while HDI values after the year 2010 are calculated with a different formula.
Average disposable wage of OECD members.
While GDP per capita is often used to measure how developed a country is, it includes components that do not contribute to a citizen's standard of living. GDP per capita may increase while real incomes for the majority decline. However, measuring only wages and salaries gives a more accurate picture of a country's standard of living. Unlike the gross wage, which can be a misleading indicator of the well-being of a citizen since it does not represent the full amount of money the worker will be left to consume on goods or services, the disposable wage excludes compulsory deductions such as income tax, municipal tax, provincial state income tax, Social Security, pension plan, Medicare, and compulsory insurance. The list below has compulsory deductions applied with rates obtained from the OECD tax database, which assumes that the citizen is single with no children, with an income level 100% of the average wage. All monetary values are based on the OECD's purchasing power parity exchange rates. Note that the OECD does not publish data for some countries and hence they are not listed.
Other lists of developed countries.
Only 3 institutions have produced lists of developed countries. The 3 institutions and their lists are the UN list, shown above, the CIA list and the FTSE Group's list, whose list is not included because its association of developed countries with both high incomes and developed markets is not deemed as directly relevant here. However, many institutions have created lists which are sometimes referred to when people are discussing developed countries. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, identifies 35 advanced economies. The OECD, also widely known as the Developed Countries Club, has 34 members. The World Bank identifies 66 high-income countries. The EIU's Quality of Life Survey and a list of countries with welfare states are also included here. The criteria for using all these lists and for countries' inclusion on these lists are often not properly spelt out, and several of these lists are based on old data.
IMF Advanced Economies.
According to the IMF, the following 36 economies are classified as advanced economies: Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, Iceland, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Portugal, San Marino, Singapore, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, United Kingdom, United States. The CIA has modified an older version of the IMF's list of advanced economies, noting that the IMF's advanced economies list would presumably also cover some smaller countries. These include Andorra, Faroe Islands, Holy See, Liechtenstein, Monaco.
World Bank High-Income Economies.
According to the World Bank, there are 76 high-income economies. The list includes most of Europe, Russia, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, the USA, Canada, Uruguay, Chile, United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia.
High-income OECD members.
There are 31 members in the high-income OECD category, as determined by the World Bank. The high-income OECD membership is as follows: 23 countries in Europe: Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom. 3 countries in Asia: Israel, Japan, South Korea. 3 countries in the Americas: Canada, Chile, United States. 2 countries in Oceania: Australia, New Zealand.
Development Assistance Committee members.
There are 29 members, 28 selected OECD member countries in the European Union, in the Development Assistance Committee, DAC, a group of the world's major donor countries that discuss issues surrounding development aid and poverty reduction in developing countries. The following OECD member countries are DAC members. 22 countries in Europe. Austria, since 1965, Belgium, since 1961, Czech Republic, since 2013, Denmark, since 1963, Finland, since 1975, France, since 1961, Germany, since 1961, Greece, since 1999, Iceland, since 2013, Ireland, since 1985, Italy, since 1961, Luxembourg, since 1992, Netherlands, since 1961, Norway, since 1962, Poland, since 2013, Portugal, since 1961, 1, Slovakia, since 2013, Slovenia, since 2013, Spain, since 1991, Sweden, since 1965, Switzerland, since 1968, United Kingdom, since 1961. 2 countries in Asia. Japan, since 1961, South Korea, since 2010. 2 countries in North America. Canada, since 1961, United States, since 1961. 2 countries in Oceania. Australia, since 1966, New Zealand, since 1973. 1 joined the DAC in 1961, withdrew in 1974 and rejoined in 1991.
Newsweek's World's Best Countries.
Newsweek published in 2010 a list of the world's best countries, measuring education, health, quality of life, economic dynamism, and political environment in 100 countries. The top 30 countries are Finland, Switzerland, Sweden, Australia, Luxembourg, Norway, Canada, Netherlands, Japan, Denmark, United States, Germany, New Zealand, United Kingdom, South Korea, France, Ireland, Austria, Belgium, Singapore, Spain, Israel, Italy, Slovenia, Czech Republic, Greece, Portugal, Croatia, Poland, Chile,